to Kansas, gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Today on Around Kansas, join us for a story about the True West magazine and their list of top Western towns. Then join us for a story about photographer Crystal Socha. Next, we'll have a story about Lincoln Days in the state, and we'll end with a look at the new fishing regulations for 2018. Stay with us. Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life. Well, hello again. I'm Frank Chafin, and this is Around Kansas, the show that brings you stories about people, places, and things that makes Kansas a great place to live, work, play, and come visit. Here we are getting close to the end of February, so if you're planning your trip for this summer and you're going to travel across the country, well, be sure to stop here in Kansas because we have lots of great things to see and do. We really do. In fact, we were going to do a story last week about one of the big attractions in Kansas, and that's Old Abilene Town, which is a Wild West set in Abilene, Kansas. And the thing is it also made a big story in True West magazine. So today Deb will be doing a story about True West magazine and them featuring the Abilene Days. So stay tuned for that. It's pretty interesting. And make sure to visit it because if you've never been there, it really is a really nice front street and the whole thing. And they have gunfights and the whole 9 yards. So Abilene, Kansas. You know, there was a movie that was made about Abilene back in the 1960s, and if you remember the song, Deb and I talked about this one time, and I was wrong at first because I said, no, it's about Abilene, Texas, and one of our viewers contacted us and said, no, Frank is wrong, it is about Abilene, Kansas. And of course I Googled it, and he was absolutely right. And I was even working in Salina at the time the movie was made, so I should have known that. But anyway, the song Abilene was about Abilene, Kansas, when they did a movie about Abilene, Kansas. Okay. Also, we're going to be talking about a famous Kansas photographer named Crystal Socha, who started a photography career while attending classes at Wichita State University. She was actually a biology major and needed to fulfill some extra credits. So she took a black and white photography class, and, well, guess what? She decided that maybe photography might be better than biology. Anyway, that'll be one of our stories today, and it really is pretty interesting. Now, we talked about Abilene, and it's a story about the old Abilene town being in True West magazine. Well, also, we have Lincoln Days coming up in Lincoln, Kansas, and this will be the 28th year in a row that they celebrated their heritage. So there will be a story on that about Lincoln Days coming up in Abilene, Kansas. And of course, there's fishing in the state because we have lots of reservoirs and all of that all around the state. So Deb's going to be doing a story about the various reservoirs, the kind of fish there, where to get your fishing licenses, and the whole thing. So if you're a fisherman, there's going to be a story about that too. So we have lots of great stories coming up for you today. Stay tuned right here on Around Kansas.
Buffalo Bill Cody earned his legendary title in Oakley. Bring the family and come celebrate Oakley's pioneering history and unique geography at two sites, the Buffalo Bill Cultural Center and the Fick Fossil Museum. Cody's statue marks his achievements and welcomes visitors to the Cultural Center. The Fick Fossil Museum houses world-class fossils and artifacts. You'll find Oakley at the hub of U.S. Highways 83 and 40 and I-70. Stop for the legend. Stay for the day. Discover Oakley.
As fourth-generation farmers themselves, Heinen Brothers Ag Service understands the risk and rewards of farming. So when it comes to quality aerial and ground application, fertilizer, ag chemicals, and anhydrous ammonia, call Heinen Brothers Ag today, 800-760-4964.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Leafing through the pages of the February issue of True West magazine, I was thrilled to see some familiar names and faces, and pretty doggone proud to see Kansas get some well-deserved recognition. First, there was the face of our friend Brent Harris, sparking the flame of envy in my heart once more. As the embodiment of Dodge City's Convention and Visitors Bureau, he's everywhere, on stage, in magazines, on billboards, everywhere. Of course, it is only fitting that Dodge City placed a prominent ad in True West, considering the iconic Western city was named fourth among the top 10 true Western towns. Wild Texas cowboys driving cattle to Dodge made the town famous in the 1870s, and the story continues today at venues like Boot Hill Museum, wrote True West editors. Bronze medallions in the sidewalks commemorate Dodge City's legend of both fiction and real life, while visitors grab selfies with the life-sized bronze statues of Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp. Yes, there are countless ways Dodge City celebrates its wild Western roots. And who was number one in the True West Top 10? It was Abilene, Kansas, not Texas. Abilene, Kansas was named the number one True West town. To quote the magazine, Abilene only needed 5 years to enter Western legend. Between 1867 and 1871, Texas cowboys drove longhorn cattle to Abilene on the Chisholm Trail, and after a shave and maybe a new hat, the young men naturally sought amusements, often with six-shooters. Modern Abilene has done a first-rate job of preserving those wild times, especially in its celebration last year of the 150th anniversary of the Chisholm Trail. For that reason, we name Abilene our top Western town for 2018. We couldn't be prouder of both these towns and the hard work of their citizens in preserving and promoting their Western history. The same issue features a story by our old friend, the prolific author and fine historian Johnny D. Boggs. His Renegade Roads feature is the story of Southern Plains Indian Wars in 1868, from Colorado to Oklahoma, and it is a tragic tale. It includes the story of the Beecher's Island Scouts, who set out from Fort Wallace and met tragedy on the Arickaree at the Battle of Beecher's Island. Several historic sites will mark this historic event later in the year. Johnny also recommended that travelers stay in the Mount Sunflower bed and breakfast in Sharon Springs, and we would certainly agree. True West is on newsstands now, or better yet, subscribe. You never know when someone familiar is going to show up on the pages.
Earlier in my life, I rode bucking horses in rodeos, and my shoulders took such a beating, and that was probably the reason for having several previous surgeries on both shoulders. About a year ago, I decided that I didn't want to have another surgery. And so I contacted Kansas Regenerative Medicine, took their treatment process. It was relatively pain-free. Now, after 8 months, my shoulders have healed to the point where I think I'm probably 90 to 95% of normal. It takes a couple of months to start to see results and feel real progress. That continued to increase gradually until now at approximately 8 months. And I'm extremely pleased. I've got full range of motion. I can lift weights, I can throw, I can do a lot of things that I couldn't do without a lot of pain previously. So I'm tickled to death with the results, and I'd recommend this process to anyone.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
You don't have to be a farmer or rancher to become a Kansas Farm Bureau member. Anyone can join. As a member, you'll get discounts on things like hotels and entertainment, health and wellness services, cell phone plans, and more. You'll also strengthen the lives of your fellow Kansans and help build strong, prosperous communities through agriculture advocacy and education. Join us today. Visit kfb.org/join to learn more.
Fort Wallace was the fightingest fort in the West. Fossils, Indians, soldiers, scouts, wagons, trails, pioneers, stories. Discover the story of Fort Wallace and the people who served here, the people who fought here, the people who settled here. Wallace County, where the past is present.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Crystal Socha started her photography career while attending classes at Wichita State University. A biology major who needed to fulfill extra credits, she took a black and white photography class and then started developing images in the darkroom. Crystal is primarily a landscape photographer, but has branched out into wildlife and even a few portraits. And folks are recognizing her work. She has won numerous awards. The most recent was the grand prize in the Kansas Ranchland and Trust photo competition. When not out taking photos, she spends her time working and training horses. I started riding at the age of 9, said Crystal. I worked for a trainer for several years, helping her break and train horses. Today, I own quarter and paint horses, along with several Friesens. Crystal is a 4-H horse show judge and has judged the horse show for the Sedgwick County Fair the past 3 years. Add to Crystal's accomplishments as a horsewoman that she can also drive a team. For 15 years, I worked, trained, and drove teams of horses for a competition 6-horse Belgian hitch. We traveled across the Midwest competing with the hitch. I brought home several first-place wins in both the team and cart classes. Occasionally, I help out on a working cattle ranch in the Flint Hills. Some of Crystal's most amazing photos are of the spring burn on ranches in the Flint Hills. Crystal uses those team driving skills at Wichita's Cowtown, driving teams of horses and helping bring the 1800s to life. It was at Cowtown that a photographer captured Crystal and her fellow living historians for a spread in Kansas Magazine. There is Crystal, calm, cool, and pointing a gun straight toward anything that might stand in her way. In her spare time, she enjoys roller skating and archery. What I find amazing is the fact that a photographer caught Crystal in a moment still enough to photograph her.
Welcome to the Jerry Thomas Gallery and Collection, where we showcase my renowned frontier military and Native American artifacts. Behind me you see a touch of fall. We put together not only the beauty of Micah Highwalking, who is the first graduate of West Point of the Northern Cheyenne people and a dear friend, but also a Hudson's Bay blanket that I have here in the gallery. The unique opportunity that I was able to have was we unveiled this painting and surprised Micah at Custer Battlefield a true honor.
Tarwater Farm and Home has been family owned and operated since its beginning in 1978. What you need for farm and agriculture, lawn and garden, clothing and footwear, and so much more. You'll be surprised at what you'll find in this huge store. They have what you need and lots of it. So come take a look. You'll discover that customer service is first and foremost. Always has been with the Tarwaters. Tarwater Farm and Home, 4107 North Topeka Boulevard. This segment brought to you by Kansas Grain Sorghum. Growers working together. Find out more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
The town of Lincoln, Kansas honors its namesake for the 28th year in a row with Lincoln Days, the weekend of February 9th and 10th. Events begin Friday night at the Lincoln County Museum with a movie on the life of Lincoln. Saturday morning, Jack Crispin will host events in the historic Lincoln County Courthouse. The Lincoln-Douglas debates that thrust Lincoln upon the world stage will be reenacted with veteran actor Tom Leahy as Abraham Lincoln and Bud DeArville as Stephen Douglas. Living historian Marla Matkin will present In the Eye of the Storm as Mary Todd Lincoln. The morning's activities culminate with the traditional Lincoln Look-alike contest. And at noon, the traditional buffalo stew will be served in the Christian Community Center. Saturday afternoon, the Marshall Yoy House will be open for tours with living historians stationed throughout. The historic home was placed on the National Registry of Historic Places in 2001 and belongs to the Lincoln County Historical Society. It is a picturesque example of Queen Anne architecture with several antiques and original furnishings. The house was built in 1885 by Abram and Belle Crow Marshall. He was a prominent Kansan who was the president of the Saline Valley Bank in Lincoln and owned over 1,700 acres in Lincoln County. He also had extensive land holdings in other counties, including more than 25,000 acres in Trego, Sherman, and Wallace counties. In 1916, Mr. Marshall was elected to the Kansas State Legislature. He died in 1930 while serving as mayor of Lincoln. Following Abram's death, his wife Belle married Frank Chase. Belle died in 1936 and her home was sold to Ben and Della Yoy. Ben operated the flour mill in Shady Bend. Following Della's death in 1942, Ben married Lucretia Scholar of Barnard. Following Ben's death in 1946, Lucretia lived on and shared the house's contents with community members. At her death in 1987, she bequeathed the home to the Lincoln County Historical Societies. Presenters will be Marla Matkin, Tom Leahy, Dan Metz, and Jack Crispin, who will be portraying the Lincolns as well as General Thomas Ewing and Lincoln's law partner William Herndon, for whom the town of Herndon, Kansas is named. It will be a typical 19th century afternoon with a sing-along and board games in the parlor. Tickets for the entire weekend are $20, while Saturday afternoon is only $8. Perhaps no small town in Kansas celebrates its history more passionately than the town of Lincoln. Here's hoping we'll see you all there at what promises to be an historic weekend of events.
Welcome to our Bar B, 8,000 plus square feet Western store with something for everyone in the family. We have boots, belts, hats, jeans, anything you could want to outfit you and your horse. Come visit our line of saddles. We have 400 plus new and used saddles in stock. We offer tack, grooming supplies, headstalls, breast collars, you name it, we've got it for you and your horse. That's our Bar B, 1 mile east of Highway 4 on Northeast 39th. Our Bar B, where Western is a way of life.
This is one of my favorite bits that I make. The name I give this bit is a derby bit. I had a roan head horse that was running through the bridle with the chain bit, and I made this bit here. It really worked good on that horse. I sent this bit to Donnie McNeese, who breaks in cattle for Jeff Smith and Ike Cox. And I said, ride this bit on a lot of horses, see how you get along with it. They did. He said, Bull, that's really a good bit. Fits a lot of horses. Then I give this bit to my good friend Brent Wright, who I make bits for. And I said, see how this bit will work on a reining horse. I call him up a couple months later. I said, Brent, how you getting along with that bit? And he said, good. He said, you don't need it right this minute, do you? And I said, no. He said, good, because I'm down here in Texas and I just won a big futurity riding that bit. And when Brent got home, he gave me the buckle that he won the futurity with. I'm really proud of that buckle that Brent Wright gave it to me, and also that he got along so good with my bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, it's Shrine Circus time! Enjoy a weekend of thrills, chills, and tons of fun at the Kansas Expo Center February 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th. See lions and tigers, elephants, high-flying trapeze artists, and watch a man shot out of a cannon. And Johnny Rocket, everyone's favorite, is back! For more information, visit ArabShrineCircus.com and be sure to thank our corporate sponsor, Security Benefit, the Arab Shrine Circus. Don't you dare miss it!
All over the country, more and more communities are making the change to biodiesel made from U.S. soybean oil. And the decision continues, improving the health and welfare for millions of Americans while adding billions to our national economy.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information. This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Know the name of the reservoir you want to fish but can't remember the daily creel limit for channel cats? Having a hard time remembering the difference between a bluegill and a green sunfish? Thanks to improvements made to the 2018 Kansas Fishing Regulation Summary, online now at ksoutdoors.com and at licensed vendor locations soon, you can access the answers to these questions faster than ever before. When flipping through this year's summary, you'll notice 3 big improvements: a larger, bolder table of contents, color-coded sections for quick reference, ksoutdoors.com/fishing, or view the easy-to-use full-color pamphlet right there online. When you get your copy of the 2018 Kansas Fishing Regulations Summary, be sure to pay special attention to the new for 2018 section, as well as the individual listings for your favorite spots, as length and creel changes may have occurred. To improve fishing opportunities in urban areas where the demand for fish exceeds the supply, the Kansas Department created an urban fish stocking program. Over 85 lakes statewide are stocked with 3/4 to 1.5 pound channel catfish, hybrid sunfish, and wipers as often as every 2 weeks from April through September. All metropolitan areas with a population of at least 40,000 with available public fishing waters are served by this program. In addition, communities in western Kansas with high populations relative to county and adjacent counties also receive stockings. If you live in the listed counties, you have an urban lake near you. These are great locations for a quick family fishing trip. Just throw the gear in the car and make the short drive to the nearest designated urban fishing lake. The counties served by the program are Atchison, Butler, Douglas, Johnson, Leavenworth, Lyon, Ottawa, Pottawatomie, Reno, Riley, Saline, Sedgwick, Shawnee, and Wyandotte. To get a complete list of the individual lakes and a stocking schedule, visit ksoutdoors.com. In fact, there isn't much you can't find at the website, whether it's hunting regulations or fish stocking schedules or cabin rental information. And don't forget to take advantage of the free publications, like the Fishing Atlas provided by Wildlife Parks and Tourism. Besides the valuable fishing information, it is a fantastic, detailed map of the state. Here's hoping that you catch the big one.
That's it for today. I'm Frank, and well, we'll see you somewhere around Kansas.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part of Dorothy Street.